Have you ever heard of the statements like, I'm going to the United States, or I'm going to South Korea, or I'm going to Thailand? And you will be like, oh, my life is so exhausted. I have no meaning. What am I supposed to do? Well, no worries. You are not alone, because it is a tragic moment of an average developing country. For these situations and the phenomenon, we have a specific term, and that is called brain drain. So you might be wondering what a brain drain is, but I'm pretty sure that you all get the average definitions or what does it mean from the example that I have provided. So but now let's go into specific definitions. What is a brain drain? A brain drain is a situation or a circumstance that occur when educated or skilled individuals leave their home country for the better opportunities. So one might argue that, well, it benefits them. Why do we need to care? Of course, I'm not denying that. I'm not saying it doesn't benefit them. But however, on the other hand, it leaves a significant gaps in their home country. So the problem is, what is causing a brain drain? Well, there are many factors that is causing a brain drain, but specifically, the first point is the limited opportunities for them, and then inadequate resources for young people. So now we are going to discuss about its impact on education, a very specific factor. So for this factor, I have divided into two categories, developing nations and developed nations. According to the UNESCO, there have been a migration of 4.5 million of tertiary educated people annually around the world, while most of them are originating from developing countries. And another point is that 25% of primary age children in Sub-Saharan Africa are out of schools. And again, an estimated 69 million new teachers are required to meet educational goals by 2013. Well, actually, 69 million is a lot. It is more than the overall populations of our country. Again, it is more than the overall populations of Republic of Korea, or also known as South Korea. And we are now living in 2024, and we are going to arrive in 2025. We only have 5 years to teach, to train those 69 million new teachers to meet educational goals set by the United Nations. And this is a devastating fact of an average developing nation. Sorry. Now moving to the another category is developed nation. Well, it is easy for the developed nations because one might say, well, the educated people are coming to their country, so they are benefiting. Yes, they are benefiting, but however, there is a dark factor that we do not see. And it is, according to the information, as 28% of professors in STEM fees at US major universities are foreign born. And if you are wondering what does STEM mean, S stands for science, D stands for technology, E stands for engineering, and M stands for mathematics. And again, for the United Kingdom, over 25% of ex-doctors and 50% of nurses are from abroad. So what does it mean? It means that they have to rely on other countries' citizens rather than their own citizens. It is again a devastating effect for their countries because they are not relying on their education anymore, but rather relying on other countries. And this is according to the National Foundation for American Policies and NHS, also known as National Health Service. So now let's move to a very specific example. Firstly, Philippines. Well, you all might know what is the Philippines. It is a member of our ASEAN community. So, according to the Philippines Statistics Authority, it is a government website, Philippines have to rely on remittance, and it is 10% of GDP. And if you are wondering what does a remittance mean, it means the average money that a worker from an abroad sent back to their own country. And again, because of those situations, Philippines is now facing shortage of 70,000 healthcare workers. And their people are suffering because of those situations. Now, another factor is Ghana, which is located in Africa. For example, the 20% of university professors left nation, and it is according to Ghana Education Service. Again, it is also a reliable government website. Another point is 76,000 additional teachers to meet SDGs. And because of those situations, the people of Ghana are suffering. And not only that, but also when those professors leave the countries and go to another country, those developed countries also suffer because they have to rely on the professor of Ghana rather than their own professors. So now let's look at where don't we have a solution for that? What we do, and it calls brain circulations, where brain circulation is just the opposite definition of a brain drain. Now let's look at a very, very specific example. Firstly, we have the India IT, and again Vietnam Incentives, and then Taiwan Science and Technology Development, and South Korea Innovation-Driven Group. So these countries have implemented specific policies to return brain drain into a brain circulations. So you might be wondering then what did those countries do to cause this brain circulations? Well, it is not simple, but I have provided 4 major solutions for this. Firstly, is incentive for returning professors. What those developing countries can do, they can break tax for those professors, they can provide safety, they can provide a better opportunities for those youth. Well, it is not easy, indeed, but we have to remember that the brain drain is worse than those implementing policies. Another point is, of course, obvious, investing in education. As all of you know, the education is the very foundation and primary of every country. So by investing in education, we will be able to provide a better educated and the professional individuals from those foundations. Another point is indeed international collaborations. As we are living in the globalizations and the affected by the every factor made by our neighboring country, we cannot stand alone. We have to work together with other countries. We have to work with other NGOs such as United Nations or any other branch under the United Nations. Another, and lastly, is more opportunities for you. It's obvious, but it is not such an easy thing to do. For example, providing well-paid job for the youth, and it is indeed a very specific example of that. So, to conclude my point, brain drain is not just a loss of talents, it is a loss of potential, but it doesn't have to be a permanent loss. By investing in education and in technologies and incentives, we can turn brain drain into a brain circulation or the forever good. By nurturing the talents of our youth and the creating pathway for them, I am pretty sure and have absolute confidence in every country that they will be able to turn brain drain into brain circulations. Thank you very much.